My sister dropped her kids off at my house and demanded I babysit them while she goes on an 8-week vacation. When I threatened to report her to police, she arranged to have me assaulted in my own home. Growing up, my sister was the golden child who got away with everything. She was stunningly beautiful with thick curly hair and light eyes, while I had dark eyes and straight hair. Mom constantly compared us, telling me to dress like my sister and asking her to teach me makeup. But my sister would bully me whenever I asked for help. The favoritism was brutal. When my sister slept with my boyfriend in high school, my parents told me to let bygones be bygones. She wasn't even punished. That's when I realized how much they preferred her over me. Being the ugly sister meant I had zero social life and spent all my time studying. I graduated with a 4.0 and landed a full ride to my dream university. Meanwhile, Mom told me she was paying for my sister's college, but I'd have to pay my own way through community college. When I got my scholarship, I was so excited to tell my family. Dad said good job, and Mom didn't even look up from her phone. Then she ignored me for an entire week, like she literally hated me for earning something my sister didn't have. I redirected all my rage into academic success, graduated with honors, got a fantastic job, and have been making 6 figures since I turned 23. Meanwhile, my sister failed out of college and got pregnant by some guy she barely knew. We barely spoke as adults. At family gatherings, she'd make nasty comments about my designer clothes, asking what fake purse I had this time. One Thanksgiving, she said, "I see you're dressed up again like the stuck-up bitch you are." Then one weekend morning, my doorbell rang. I was shocked to see my sister's 10 and 7-year-olds standing on my porch holding overnight bags. They said their mom was going on vacation for 8 weeks and I was watching them. I started calling my sister immediately. When she finally answered, I said there was no way I was watching her kids and I'd call CPS if she didn't pick them up. That's when she threatened to call my job and tell them I wasn't taking my bipolar medication, which would get me fired. My career was everything to me. I couldn't risk it. When I called my mom for help, she sided with my sister as always. Eventually, Mom admitted my sister wasn't on vacation. She was being flown out by her sugar daddy. When I freaked out, Mom called me the ugly duckling and pushed me into a coffee table, breaking my favorite vase. I bonded with my nephews over the next few days. They were sweet boys with holes in their socks and clothes too small for them. I took them shopping, bought them new wardrobes and Nintendo Switches. They cried and hugged me, asking why I was being so nice to them. My boyfriend suggested I secretly record my sister's threats. When I called her again, she repeated her blackmail about the false medical accusations. I got it all on tape and reported her to CPS. The next day at work, my supervisors called me in. My sister had followed through with her threat, but I was prepared. I had letters from my doctors proving I was stable and medicated. The meeting lasted 15 minutes, and my supervisors apologized. When I called my sister to tell her she'd failed, she lost it and said she was flying home to make me regret everything. A few days later, someone was pounding on my door. It was my sister with a giant man who had to be 6'5" and 300 pounds. He shoved me down and they barged into my house. When my nephews came out, the man carried them to a black SUV while they begged to stay with me. My sister spit in my face before leaving. I immediately called police. They found the SUV hours later. The giant man attacked multiple officers and got shot in the thigh. My sister also physically attacked the cops trying to arrest her. It took almost 2 years of legal battles, but I eventually won full custody of my nephews. My sister got a life sentence for all her crimes stacked together. My mom only avoided prison by testifying against her golden child. When my boys finally came home, I had decorated bedrooms waiting for them. My youngest found his little plush dog I'd kept safe, and both boys cried in my arms. My eldest looked up at me and said, "I knew it, Auntie. I just knew you would come back for us." Sometimes the ugly duckling wins in the end.